Get ready. The income tax cannot be changed by the whim of the executive because it is enshrined in the law. Therefore, we argued, please now, on the basis of your own reports, cap the rate. When we use the word cap the rate, what do we mean? It cannot be changed by the whim of the executive. A rate must only be changed with the approval of Parliament. Now, I ask all of you, do you agree with me or do you disagree with me on the question that a rate of this importance must be changed only with the approval of Parliament? It cannot ought not to be changed by the whim of the executive. Now I want to speak up loud and clear and tell the people of India that we don't want Parliament to change the rate. We want the executive to change the rate. Para, the people of India expect law indirect taxes. There are a lot of people, a lot of corporates. I have seen in the last few days speak up of passing the GST bill. It does not matter to them whether the rate is 18 or 20. They will pass it on to the consumer in any way. There are many voices in the country to speak up for the corporate supporters, but somebody must speak up for the people. That is precisely what my party is doing, what I am doing today. In the name of the people, I ask you to keep this rate at the rate recommended by your CEA. Namely, the standard rate should not exceed 18%. I know you are not incorporating it in the Constitution Amendment Bill, but you have to incorporate it in the GST bill. No tax bill will survive judicial scrutiny unless the tax rate is mentioned. So today you may avoid maintaining of it, but 3 months later when you come back with the GST bill, the CGST bill and the IGST must mention a tax rate, and we will repeat this demand again. Then in the meanwhile, we will campaign throughout the country appealing to the people of India to support the India that this tax, the standard rate of GST, should not exceed 18%. With the greatest respect, I don't buy the argument that by fixing the standard rate at 18%, the states will lose revenue. This should be looked at positively for those states. Para. Sir, just read paragraphs 29, 30, 52 and 53 of this report. It categorically argues on sound data that a rate, which is the standard rate, which is based on implied RNR 15 to 15.5, a standard rate of 18%, will protect the revenues of the center and states, will be efficient, will be non-inflationary, will avoid tax evasion and will be acceptable to the people of India. However, if the government does not care about inflation, does not care about acceptability to the people of India, does not care about efficiency, then go ahead and charge 24% or charge 26%. That is defeating the purpose of GST. If you are going to charge 24 or 26% ultimately on goods and services, why bring a GST bill at all? Your excise and customs will take care of it. Please remember, services today represent 57% of India's GDP. It suffers a tax rate of 14% today. With Swachh Bharat case and other case, it may have gone up to 14.5%. But if you suddenly jack it up to something like 24%, it is usually inflationary. Let me caution you, let me go on record. It is usually inflationary and there will be a huge backlash if you raise the service tax rate from the current 14.5% to 23 or 24%. Sir, likewise in VAT, most goods suffer a very low rate of VAT. There is a huge number of exemptions and only 56% are of the standard rate. If you suddenly jack it up to 23 or 24%, it will be inflationary, and a high rate will lead to tax evasion. A high rate will mean an inefficient system. So, I would urge the government to reflect on it again. Yes, we have today agreed because I believe even the government has not made up its mind on what the RNR is. The government and the state ministers are not agreeable on what the RNR is. In the last meeting that took place the last Tuesday, according to our information, there was a clear cleavage, a disagreement between the state finance ministers on the one side and the Union Finance Minister on the other. I can't believe that they have not agreed on RNR. They are going back to their drawing board and work on the RNR. I don't know. Perhaps within the government there is a disagreement between the Revenue Department and the Economics Division. Eventually, you will have to come to an agreement. Stop.